One of the big disappointments of the Red Sox spring training is the fact that Daniel Bard did not come north with the team for opening day. And you'll be surprised when I tell you who it was that was absolutely right about Bard in not making him into a starting pitcher. So it was a good spring for the Red Sox. They went into Yankee Stadium on opening day and won in impressive fashion. So there's a lot of good vibes around the Red Sox right now. But there's two areas of concern. Number one, of course, has to be David Ortiz, his heel injury, and when he's going to return to the lineup. We all know that he is the center point of the Red Sox lineup, and if he is out for an extended period, we know the Red Sox are probably going to struggle more than they should on offense. Apart from that, the second biggest disappointment of the spring, I think, is the fact that Daniel Bard was demoted not to Pawtucket, but to Double-A Portland to start the season rather than start him off in the Red Sox bullpen. And Bard has been a work in progress ever since mid-June of last season when he was shut down as a starting pitcher and sent to the minor leagues. The Red Sox have slowly tried to rebuild his psyche and make him into the dominant setup man that he was just a few short years ago. And the Red Sox made a big mistake with Daniel Bard. They tried to do with him what the Yankees did with Jabba Chamberlain, and that is make a guy into something that he's not. Bard was successful as a relief pitcher. And believe it or not, folks, the one guy who recognized Daniel Bard being best in a setup role was former manager Bobby Valentine. Valentine took a lot of heat last year for a lot of things in Boston, and rightfully so. But one thing I got to give him credit on, he knew Daniel Bard should have remained a relief pitcher. It was something that he pushed for in spring training, and he was denied. Ben Cherington and management were determined to find a starting pitcher on the cheap, and Bard was their guy. Their experiment obviously was a colossal failure. Now John Farrell's there. He's trying to rebuild Bard's psyche and his mechanics. He thought he had him to the point where he needed him to be in spring training. It didn't work out. So the Red Sox really sent Bard a message and sent him to Double-A and said, you're not just a couple of appearances away from reappearing in Boston. You really need to work on things and get yourself back to being the guy that you were. And if you can do that, we can use you at the major league level. I'm very disappointed the Red Sox were not able to get Bard fixed this spring. I think it'll still come. I think he will eventually reappear in this bullpen. But the bottom line is, Bobby Valentine saw that this was a disaster waiting to happen. The Red Sox did not learn from the Yankees' experiment with Chamberlain, and I know pitchers are all different, but coming out of spring training, going into the start of the season, you would have to say that Daniel Bard still being a reclamation project is the most disappointing part of the start of the Red Sox season. But for you guys out there, your thoughts on Daniel Bard? Will we see him again at the major league level anytime soon? And what do you think about the experiment that was failed as a starting pitcher? Don't forget to subscribe and tell all your friends about This Week in Red. And don't forget to check out my new blog at BoSoxInjection.com.